Good morning, students. So, am I audible to you all?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So, how are you all? All right. So, I believe you had your Viva today. So, have all of you appeared for the same, or some of you are still left? All right. I am fine too. Thank you for asking. So, I hope you read the guidelines which I shared yesterday. Hanji. All right. Any doubts, any questions related to those guidelines? Yes. No questions? So, everybody is prepared for their Viva tomorrow? See, that is just, I gave you a few examples of what questions can possibly be asked, but that is not an exhaustive list. So, yes, there can be different questions as well, right? But you can prepare on similar lines. So, in the last Viva for the mechanical and ECE class, these were the sort of questions which were asked, very general, nothing too specific. All right. Make sure you check the syllabus. The topics are same what we have done in the class, how to give a formal presentation, right? Daily conversations, the phrases we use. Otherwise, it is just to check your hold on the language, how confidently you speak, right? So we are not going to check your knowledge about anything. And make sure you are properly dressed since you are supposed to have your camera on for the duration of the Viva, right? I'll let you know when you are supposed to join. Probably the first half will join in the first lecture and the rest of the students can join in the second lecture, right? I won't give slots. All of you can join at the same time. Also, I think it serves as a good practice. You'll get to know the type of questions being asked. All right. Make sure you have a very steady internet connection. Please don't give me this excuse कि मैम internet नहीं चल रहा. Right? I am informing you one day prior. So in case you face any issues related to internet, make sure you have a backup, right? Whether a Wi-Fi connection or if you're using mobile data, whichever way. Because tomorrow, chalo, I am taking the Viva, but the day the external examiner is going to be there, then we cannot make any adjustments. All right. So anything else you might want to ask related to the Viva? So no questions, any doubts related to the syllabus so far for the theory part? Yes. Hanji bache, yes or no? Any doubts, any questions? All right, then I have just a brief topic to cover today. Yes, Anu, are you asking me about the theory part or the practical tomorrow? Okay, okay. So, Pradeep, see in your introduction, you start with your name, right? And here you can also tell your stream you are enrolled in. That helps the examiner. All right. And then you don't need to mention the college. The examiner already knows that. Then you can tell something about yourself, what you like to do. You can talk about your hobbies, your interests, what you want to do in life. Why have you enrolled yourself in this course? So just 4 to 5 sentences will be enough. And you don't need to give the details about your family. All right. So Pradeep, I hope I answered your question. And Anu, I would recommend that you just read the guidelines which I shared yesterday in your group. Yes, Vishal, you can give your education details. Okay, do you mean your name of your school? Yes, you may tell that as well. जस्ट बेटा ग्रामर उसमें सही होनी चाहिए. आई बिलोंग्स नहीं बोलना किसी ने. आई बिलोंग्स टू जलंधर. If it helps, you may write it down today, right? I don't want you to learn it by heart because फिर वो पता चल जाता है कि रट्टा मारा हुआ है. It has to sound natural. So just revise it in your mind what you would say in case you are asked to introduce yourself. All right. So I'm going to share the screen in case you have any questions. We can discuss them later. So these are just various writing styles or the paragraph patterns which I wanted to discuss with you. I'll share the link for this page with you in the class group. See, so we have these different patterns. You can either classify, right, or you can see, this will help you when you are supposed to write an essay, right? So the essay might require you to describe the cause and effect of something. For example, if I ask you to write an essay on plastic pollution, right? So you would discuss the causes, you would discuss the effect, and then you would give a conclusion, a way forward, right? Similarly, you could be asked to narrate something. Like I asked you, how was your weekend? Then you are supposed to narrate what all happened on the like during the weekend, or maybe you went for a trip somewhere, so you will be narrating the trip to me, right? Similarly, at times you might be asked to write a process of doing something, or you might be asked to persuade someone about some stance that you believe in, right? Some opinion. Then we have a where you define something, or when you are drawing comparison or contrast. So what do we need to take care of? For example, when you are narrating something, first you will introduce, then you are going to tell a story, right? That makes a point to give, and you must give background as well while you're narrating a story, and then you write it in a sequence, right? So let's say if you're talking about a trip you undertook with your friends, you went somewhere with your friends. So you will give me a sequence that we planned this to visit this place, right? So there were four of us. We packed food. So that will all be in a very chronology, right? Whereas when you're talking about cause or effect of something, that that you would lead from one item to another. So you would start with how the problem started in the first place, right? What caused it? Then you would discuss the effects of the same. Similarly, if you are to describe something, you have to give details, you have to create a picture. And when you're drawing a comparison, or you are just talking about two things, then you would discuss what makes them both distinct, how they are similar, right? Similarly, while we define, you clarify the meaning of something, right? You set a foundation of argument and you also give a background. So these are just what points you need to take care of while you're writing these types of paragraphs. So these little pointers will help you. right? I'll share this. You can read it in detail later. So make sure when you're writing an essay, you keep these points in your mind. It will help you stay on track. You won't, mention any extra details. Your paragraph will sound interesting. All right. So if we talk about a narrative essay, so let's say you are talking about a trip you went to last year or maybe year before that, then these words will come in handy. After, afterward, as soon as, at last, before, eventually, during, currently, next, finally, whenever, still, since, soon, right? And these would be the basic components, that there would be a plot about what events, how they unfold in a sequence. Then characters. So if you're talking about a trip, the characters could be your family members or your friends, right? Then maybe you face some problem. Otherwise, yes, you can skip it as well. And the overall theme would be there. So you can also keep in mind these things if you're talking about a movie or a series which you watched recently, right? So every movie or a series, it has a plot, that what is the basic story and how it is narrated, in what sequence it is narrated, right? Then there are characters. Then of course there is always a problem which the characters face and how they resolve it. And yes, there is a theme, right? If it is about teenagers, or maybe it is about a family, or if it is something, a detective story, so that would be the theme of that particular movie or series. So also this will help you in a viva as well. How? Like I told you that there would be mock interview questions, right? So let's imagine that you get asked that, okay, how did you solve a particular problem at work, right? So there you will tell, okay, this was the problem, this was the situation, and this is how I decided to overcome it, or this was the solution that I applied. All right, then we can skip this part. And now we come to this topic of cliches. So remember we discussed redundancies, right? Where we put in extra words which are only confounding the meaning further and not adding anything substantial to that particular sentence, right? Those were redundancies, and now we are going to talk about cliches. So cliches are basically the figurative phrases or expressions which we have heard a million times. For example, apple of my eye, right? So at now we what we try to do while we are writing is we try to skip these phrases, right? They are run of the mill phrases. They are not adding anything new to your essay or paragraph, right? So this is why you should avoid using these. There is no direct question which I could find in your previous year question papers related to this topic. This is only there to help you write better. Now let's talk about description. So while you're describing something, right, it is always a good idea to add as many details as possible to make it sound interesting so that you're able to paint a picture for the reader, right? So words are the only medium that you are using to communicate. So make sure you give as many details as possible so that the reader can completely imagine in his or her mind what you are talking about. All right. So if you have read novels, or if you're reading short stories, you will notice how the author mentions all these details. Let's, if I were to give you an example, if it is a scary story, right? So the author would mention how it looked like, right? What it smelled like, the sounds, right? Even this sensation of touch, it is also used to give more details to make it scary. These are the various rhetorical devices which you can use, a simile or a metaphor. See, this page has a lot of details. You don't need to go into as many details. If you are reading the headings, that will also suffice. So yes, let's just read the key takeaways. So description essays should describe something vividly to the reader using strong sensory details. So the strong sensory details related to the five senses, right? As we just read, the senses related to sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch. And it should start with the writer's main impression of a person, a place, or an object. You can even read these sample essays which have been given here. They'll help you understand this topic better. See, this is unlikely to be there in the exam. However, we can just read it once. So if you're explaining a process, what points you need to take care of. So a process analysis essay, it explains how to do something, how something works, or both, right? And it opens with the discussion of the process and a thesis statement that states the outcome of the process, right? And its organization typically follows a chronological sequence. And the time transition phrases are particularly helpful in process analysis essays to organize steps and orient reader. So again, they have given a very good example here in case you want to read that. Okay, you want to revise punctuation. See, how to use clauses is better. Simply you need to be familiar with the various idioms and phrases and their meanings, right? So I can share a link for that list. Just go through that list once every day. So by the time you have your exam, those you will be very familiar with those. You don't need to memorize them. Just if you're reading it once a day, that will also help, right? So yes, we can revise punctuation. Otherwise, we are going to have remedial classes as well. Don't worry. So we can, in case we don't get the time today, we can pick those topics in one of the remedial classes. All right, Ajit, I hope. See, these are the phrases which you can use while you're writing an illustration essay. So for instance, in this case specifically, in particular, for example, right? Even when you're writing a normal any essay and you want to give an example, you can use these phrases. So let's read the main points, the key takeaways. So an illustration essay clearly explains a main point using evidence. And when choosing evidence, always gauge whether the evidence is appropriate for the subject as well as the audience, right? For example, if I ask you to write an essay on the Python software, right? Now you have to write the essay, which is, everybody is able to understand, even people who don't have a technical background, right? So now I am not familiar with the software Python. However, I'm asking you to explain it to me, right? So you'll use examples which I can relate with. You will use examples which I can easily understand. Similarly, you have to organize it in terms of importance, either from least important to most important, or the other way around, and use time transitions to order the evidence. And you can use phrases of illustration to highlight examples. So the phrases that we just read, right? These are the various phrases which you can use to highlight your examples. So here we have an example of the illustration essay as well. Then this is important, structure for a cause and effect essay, right? So these are various phrases which these can help you. And usually I check the previous year question paper, you usually have a cause and effect essay, right? Either you are asked to write about pollution or some other social problem. So these are the phrases which would help. Consequently, because, hence, thus, since, therefore, due to, as a result, right? Make sure either you start with the cause and then write about the effects, or the other way around, but make sure you follow this pattern, right? And as I told you, just make a rough draft before you start writing. This 5 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes, not more than that. Write about all the points which you want to cover, and then you start writing, right? And just the conclusion should wrap up the discussion and reinforce the thesis, leaving the reader with a clear understanding of the relationship that was analyzed. So these are the various points which you need to keep in mind while you're writing such an essay. So notice how this paragraph has been divided into various points. First, we have the introduction, then we have the body of the essay, and in the end, there is a conclusion. Right? So the conclusion is simply reinforcement of what you discussed in the body of the essay. You don't introduce anything new, you have to just summarize what you have covered so far. So this one is about video game addiction. So first, the extent of the problem has been described. Then the problem itself has been defined well, right? Then there are various effects which have been discussed, and followed by a conclusion, right? So many of you wrote essay about drug addiction for your first assignment. So this, let's just take a look at the definition essay, the various points you need to keep in mind. So you give, first you formally define something, then maybe you can talk about its history, give some kind of context to the reader, right? Talk about similar things, its functions, its meaning, why we need it. So where this is an essay where candle has been defined. So they establish the way in which people communicate ideas, right? They set parameters for a given discourse, and the context affects the meaning and usage of words, right? So the thesis should clearly state the writer's definition of the term in the specific context, and the body paragraphs explain the various facets of the definition stated in the thesis. So if I were to give you an example, let's say I ask you to define the Python software, write about the Python software. So first you'll define it for me, right? Then you are going to talk about the various functions, its various parameters, how it helps, what are the various things you can, create using that software, right? And in the end, you conclude by putting together all the elements. All right, so that was all for this topic. Make sure bache, just read the key takeaways, right? And the various phrases, right? Because the phrases will help you to write faster, write better, right? The phrases help you stay on track. You can put your points using those phrases, and the overall product will sound very organic. All right. And yes, we will cover the topic for punctuation in a separate class, because I want you to practice a few paragraphs, right? So I'll try to find the different types of paragraphs of various difficulty levels. So if not today, we'll definitely do it in one of the remedial classes. Otherwise, we can also schedule an extra class whenever all of you are free, right? As per the timetable, maybe sometime next week, right? After your Viva, one of the days, just we can take out half an hour and practice punctuation, and also any other topics which you might want me to repeat. All right. So a good idea would be just go through the syllabus, go through the various PDFs which I have shared over time. All right. So that you know in case some topic is still not clear or you want help with some topic. So I'll give you a week, revise complete syllabus, right? And then next week we can have an extra class to cover any topic which you feel needs revision. All right. So are you all prepared for the Viva tomorrow?
Yes,
Or
ma'am.
no? All right, good to
Yes,
hear
ma'am.
that. So I'll put it in the group, right? Which roll numbers are supposed to join in the first session and which roll numbers are supposed to join in the second session. And make sure that your name, which is displayed here, it has your roll number as well. Though I can see that most of you have mentioned your roll number already. So is that all? Do you have any other questions or queries? Otherwise, you can always drop a text on.
मैम
हाँ जी.
मैम कल विवा इंटरव्यू टाइप होगा या क्वेश्चन टाइप?
बच्चे दोनों में क्या जैसे डिफरेंस क्या होगा?
जैसे आप क्वेश्चन पूछोगे, हमें कोई पूछोगे, हम वो से सिर्फ आंसर करेंगे, या इंटरव्यू में जैसे करते हैं वैसे करेंगे?
It is going to be a mix of both. There would be some questions which have maybe a single word answer, right?
ओके मैम.
And there are some questions where you may have to elaborate. For example, If I am to give you an example from the previous Viva, right? So sir was asking the students to pick between a smartphone or a laptop, right? Now here you will no doubt tell your answer, what would you prefer, and you will also give a reason for the same. That why do you pick a
Okay.
laptop or why do you pick a smartphone?
Okay.
So yes, it will be unlikely that there would be more questions where you are supposed to elaborate. ठीक है, इंटरव्यू में देखो क्या क्वेश्चंस पूछे जाते हैं. Introduce yourself. Why are you picking this company? Or maybe why did you pick this particular course? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Right? What do you want to do professionally? Or maybe what are your interests other than working? So if you say I like cricket, or if you say I like to read, then the follow on question could be who's your favorite cricketer? Which one is your favorite book? All right. So very normal questions, something which you already know, something about yourself, right? You just need to answer it confidently. So Aditi, these are the interview questions. Otherwise, a good activity would be, a good idea is go online, check on the internet, mock interview questions. Just type in that, whatever questions you see, mentally just prepare a note about what if you are asked this question, how would you answer it. All right. So बच्चे, I think ये मैंने mention किया था, just read about, wait, I'll just write it here in the, I'm not sure if I mentioned it in the chat. Sorry, not the chat, but the file which I shared yesterday. Do read about these terms. All right, and the difference between the two. Okay, then that's wonderful. Because I remember one particular examiner, he definitely asked the students these questions. All right. So that will be all for today's class. In case you still have any doubts, you can always leave a text. All right. So see you tomorrow for Viva.